times rise in both transaction volumes and the number of merchants onboarded on a monthly basis since getting RBI's nod for a payment aggregator license about 6 months ago. I caught up with the CEO Amrish earlier and asked him about the fintech's next big bet, its IPO plans, and a lot more. Have a look.
I think there's a bigger wave which is coming through on the online side of the business. So online side, if you remember, we used to go to one checkout page, put in your card, complete the transaction. Now what we are getting to see is a completely new set of consumers who want to get to online payments. The second piece is this whole wave around bill payments and BBPS. That is just fantastic. Today, we are now become the second largest BBPS transaction processing company in India. We've also growing very quickly on the online payment side, where we are totally getting to about $1 billion of payment volumes monthly.
For Plural?
For Plural, only in the online space. So while Pine Labs has been known for the terminal at a Reliance or a D-Mart or a Chroma, we are also doing the same even in the online space now. Okay,
let me get specific with the businesses. So firstly, between all of these various models that you have within Pine Labs, and you're generating 200 million plus of revenues, where is each, which segment is driving growth and what is the largest contributor? What would Pine Labs want to be known for?
In payments, we want to do offline, online, but we also want to be on the consumer side when it comes to issuing of cards or issuing of handles, because that's very important. How do you close the loop between the merchant and the consumer?
In your $200 million plus revenue, could you give us a segmental breakup of what is the highest contributor, what is the least?
So we have now got to a fairly diversified position. So right now, less than 30% of my revenues comes out of the classic terminal business of ours. Almost getting to about 20% of our revenues coming from the global market. See, one of the things which we have to remember is India is way ahead when it comes to payment services. All happened in the last 5 years. We think our technology is relevant in the Southeast Asian markets, also in the Middle Eastern markets. So in Southeast Asia, we have a significant presence. We almost have about 100 plus people in Southeast Asia, now investing into Middle East too.
So 20% of the business is globally, 30% is from your traditional POS terminals, that's 50%.
That's correct.
The remaining 50%?
The remaining would come out of various software services that we provide. May that be in terms of issuing, installment payments, or for example, what we do on the online side of the business. All of these put together complete that 215 odd million that we will do in FY23.
So tell us about some of your newer business, for instance, Plural. How has that been doing, and what is kind of monthly transactions you're clocking in? Where will that be in a year from now?
So we're doing about $1 billion of volumes on a monthly basis, but the way I see this is this will grow 3x on a year-on-year basis.
So will there be more acquisitions in the pipeline as you look to enter new avenues, diversify your business further? Anything on the table currently?
Yeah, look, I'm a firm believer that M&A, partnership, strategic partnerships are extremely important for a company to grow, even more in today's time. As you know, the liquidity around the world has tightened up. What that means is M&A can be a very significant play to grow scale within the company. So we do see ourselves going ahead and doing more of consolidation work in the payment space, in the fintech space.
I see. Okay. Again, shifting back gears a bit, you recently got this, or not so recent, payment aggregator license from RBI. It's an in-principle approval, but we also know that some of the largest players in the business do not have that approval or that license from RBI yet. Is it advantage Pine Labs because of disadvantage some of your biggest peers in terms of getting new users on board?
So you have to remember that payments is a very responsible business, and working very closely with the regulator and the regulator's guideline is extremely critical. We've worked very hard over many, many years to build a platform which conforms to what Reserve Bank of India wants to see.
Sure.
Now, backs of what we have done, what we are getting to see is businesses want to connect into our platform because we are not just a sturdy payments platform, but we are also one of the most compliant one. In the last 6 months, the number of merchants that we are boarding on a monthly basis have actually gone up 3x. Our volumes have gone up 3x on a monthly basis.
You didn't address the competitors.
Look, I guess some of those will have to realize that the Reserve Bank of India or any institution which is connected to the government wants to ensure that consumers are protected, money is under the control of the right set of people, and they will have to up their game to work in a very compliant manner.
There's been the talks of your IPO, your impending IPO. Now, the first question is whether you're still keen on doing that or listing in the NASDAQ. Will it be in India? There were reports you were looking to raise as much as $500 million. Is that something that's still on the table? And how far away from the IPO are you?
Look, as you rightly said, we raised about $1.2 billion in the last 12 months. So purely in terms of money to run the business, we've got enough and more. That is not a concern area for us.
Okay.
However, we think that for a company to continue to do acquisitions, continue to partner with other players, it's very important for us to have a funding as a resource for us to grow further. And hence IPO becomes one of the key avenues for that. The other pieces to it is we've got investors who have been with us for a long period of time who would want to see our shares to become easily tradable.
Yeah.
And we've said this, that at the right time we will go out to the markets. Now, one, global markets are in a difficult position as we speak. The second piece that we really need to work together is at what scale and size we will be appreciated by investors, not just in India, but also potentially in the global market.
And what is that scale and size that you look to target before you can go public?
Look, we are right now operating at about $30 billion of EBITDA, for example, in FY23. I would want this business to be at a higher scale.
Should I pick up on 3 to 4 years timeline for your IPO when you hit that milestone?
Nice to say that for an exit to happen or an IPO to happen, the stars have to get lined up. So it's very difficult to tell you when the stars are going to line up.
Well, M&A can be a significant